Snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. Apparently I'm going off to sea, I don't know why this is happening. Okay, I'm a terrible singer, just no. Howdy folks, EJ here, and in celebration of the sequel to the movie that everyone just couldn't let go, I've got a bit of a command block creation for you all today that lets you pretty much become your favorite frosty female. Okay, that sounded wrong. Anyway, I'm going to take you through how to set up this very basic concept and explain how it's a very useful, adaptable method for not only goofing around, but also many other useful things. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you're running Minecraft version 1.8 or higher, because some of the commands that we're going to be using did not exist back in the days of 1.7. Now, set up the world that you'd like to play around in and make sure that cheats are enabled. You can open the world to LAN if you need to, just to make sure that cheats are enabled if they aren't already set up by default. This will allow you to use commands. The next thing we want to do is use a command to give ourselves a command block. So run this command, give at p, or your username, Minecraft:command block. If you start typing in the word and then you hit tab, it will automatically fill in possibilities of what you could be trying to type in, but they may not be the right one, so just keep hitting tab until you see the one that you needed. So this is the correct command, give your username, Minecraft.command block, hit enter, and then you should have a command block. The correct command will be in the description for you if you'd like to copy and paste it instead of type it out yourself. But be careful if you copy and paste from the description of YouTube, because sometimes it leaves these strange little characters in here. This is not part of the command, this is just some sort of weird box that happens because of the formatting on YouTube. So just delete that if you see any of those when you copy and paste, to make sure that you have only the text of the command when you try to run a command. So the next command you're going to want to run is gamerule commandBlockOutput false, exactly like this. Again, you can hit tab to make this go a little bit faster. Gamerule commandBlockOutput false. Then just hit enter, the game rule will be updated, and now command blocks will no longer show messages when they run commands, because otherwise your chat will be spammed by lots and lots of command blocks telling you that they executed their command successfully. Now, to set up this mechanism, we're going to set up a very basic fill clock. If you have never used a fill clock before, it's pretty simple. There are plenty of tutorials out there on how to make a fill clock work and how it works, so I'm not going to go into detail on that, but basically what's happening here is when I put a redstone block here, it will activate this command block, which fills this little area here with stone, and then it also fills it with redstone blocks. This command activates first, sets it to stone, then this command activates setting it to redstone blocks, which activates both of these command blocks again, and therefore restarting the cycle. Now this clock is activating very quickly, and any other command blocks that we put on here will be activated 20 times a second, which is way more than enough for what we're planning on doing here. If you have a really laggy computer, you might even want to try a slower clock instead of a fill clock. But now basically what we're going to do for this concept is to use a fill command and an execute command in conjunction, which is a little bit of a confusing topic to some people, but hopefully it'll make sense. So type /execute fill or /fill, depending on what's easier for you to understand, an area which is -4, -4, -4 by +4, +4, +4, ice 0, replace flowing water. Now what this command block is doing 20 times a second, it is turning water within 4 blocks of you into ice. Now we're going to add another one real quick. Let's just middle click this command block here to get the same data, and now when you place it here, it's got the same command in it. This is a very useful concept. So now we can just take the exact same command and change ice to snow layer, and change flowing water to air. And this is probably one of the more clever parts of the contraption, because as you can see, snow isn't being replaced everywhere where there's air around me, it's only being placed on places where it's actually a valid game state. And this is pretty much the concept right here. So if I go ahead and fly around a little bit, you can see I have now become Elsa, and I can fly around the landscape, turning everything into snow and freezing everything and making it all pretty with my snow powers, and yay, it's wonderful. I don't need to worry about getting my skirt wet because I'm awesome. I can just walk on the water. But yeah, it's a very, very cool little concept, and it's not limited to just ice and snow. You can use this for a lot of different things. For example, as I'm sure you're going to see on the screen right now, you can use it to destroy things if they're in the way of your building. You can use them to fill an area really quickly. Basically what it does is it turns your body into a paintbrush, or pretty much any entity, because you can use it on bats, on arrows, on snowballs, on players, whatever you want. So the possibilities are very versatile, and it makes for a very interesting concept. But for this example, we're using it for Elsa stuff. But you may have noticed, as I was flying around, that the dead bush here does not actually get transformed into snow like everything else does. That's because we're replacing air, not dead bush, or cactus, or tall grass, or whatever any of this stuff is. So if we want to fix that, we're going to need a lot more command blocks, which is kind of unnecessary, but just for the sake of it, let's go ahead and goof around a little bit more with this, because that's the whole purpose of this, goofing around. Now, as you can see, we've got a bunch more command blocks here that do a bunch more things, and I've been giving the wonderful Elsa's Frozen Crown, Frosty, and Elsa's Icy Power, yay! Can't even throw it out, but it's always in my inventory. But now if I throw these, ice and snow and powers and stuff, and now if you look down here, all this tall grass, now it actually goes, it disappears, and it's destroyed. Same thing happens to cactus and all that stuff now, it goes away, which is great. But yeah, this concept is very, very interesting. You can use your body as a paintbrush to do all sorts of awesome things. You can use it as a battering ram to destroy stuff, painting beautiful landscapes. I personally find this very entertaining. Ah yes, I remember that I hooked up the vines to become icicles. Look at that. That looks really cool, doesn't it? You could also hook this up to kill entities near you or freeze them in ice or something by using compound executes, all sorts of cool stuff. The possibilities are endless. And yes, this concept has been around for a long time, and compound executes are nothing new, nor are executing fills on players and stuff, but I thought it's a very useful concept that you should know, because as you can see, painting has saved me a lot of time. Using my body as a paintbrush has let me effortlessly create a really cool looking landscape of iciness and snow and all that stuff really quite easily. I just had a regular terrain, and now suddenly it's become icified, and it took me less than 20 seconds probably. So this is a really, really powerful tool that you can use if you want to clear out an area, if you want to build something, if you want to decorate. So yeah, it is definitely a useful skill to learn. Really, everyone should know it, even if you don't mess with commands. It's very useful for map making, building, doing whatever you're going to do. And I do actually use it very often when I'm building a map to make things go a little bit faster, because I love to take shortcuts and make things go faster, more efficiently, and stuff like that. I hope you learned something by watching this video, and that's pretty much it. Just something very simple, very useful, and very, very cool. I'll probably leave a world download so that you can mess with this stuff if you want. About 4 command blocks here, you can pretty much recreate this entire concept. It's amazing what you can do with literally just a couple of command blocks. And then the rest of this is just for fun. This is actually something that I showcased a few months ago on my second channel, but I thought it was too simple of a concept for people to actually be interested in. That's why I put it on my second channel, which is basically my trash bin for anything that I've worked on too hard to throw away, but that I'm not quite happy enough with to upload to my main channel. Anyway, I didn't upload this concept to my main channel because when I think, quote, command block concept, unquote, I think of the big guys like Seth Bling and his vanilla flying carpets, Ease and his disabling of Enderman griefing, and all sorts of super amazing impressive concepts like that. Therefore, I've refrained from showing off like hundreds of my little experiments because I thought, oh, someone's probably already made a video of that. It's too simple to even think that somebody else hasn't already come up with this. And it's pretty self-evident even if someone else hasn't made a video of it. Or I think, meh, it's useful but not so cool, and it's probably already been discovered by the many, many geniuses out there. But more recently, it occurred to me that not everyone is a command block redstone expert that's been doing this kind of stuff for years. A lot of people are just regular players that would really enjoy getting some use out of these cool concepts even if they don't understand commands that well. In fact, I myself would never have learned to use commands if it weren't for videos by people who explain the basics to me. So I'm probably going to start showing off some of the more simple concepts that I've come up with but never really shared. Let me know what you guys think of this. Is it crazy that I would decide to show off some things that aren't necessarily mind-blowing? Or is it okay for me to just go ahead and show off something that isn't really revolutionary, but is just a kind of goofy little thing that I built? Let me know if you guys would like to see more of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can feel myself starting to ramble, so I think I'm just going to cut it off here. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.